I think I've had enough sheep for now. The famous sheep that I haven't mentioned is Sean the sheep. I decided that I'd be Sean. I have had my hair cut. I put on a bit of weight over winter, so I decided I need to lose a few pounds, so I went to the barber's. That generally does the trick.
Brian, you need to have a wild hairstyle to allow your brain to function properly. I think you made a mistake having a haircut.
You may not recognise this. I've been here several times before, but in the distance there is the Wrekin Giant. It's a Green King pub that I can go in, order stuff on the app. We've been eating here again. One part of Telford town centre that we'd not explored, there's a great big shopping centre we have told you about, is that round one side of it there is a bus station, quite a decent sized bus station, and you can get and see various places in the area. So we're going to go down there now and take a trip on one of those buses.
Back in the 1960s, when new towns came our way, they built this one in Shropshire, the Telford of today. Welcome to Shropshire, it's Maythorn Monday, Telford.
It was getting late in the day by the time I said that, so the next morning we walked from the Travel Lodge through past the cinema, turned right, and just around there on the edge of the precinct is the bus station, and we caught the number 2 to Madeley. We couldn't find any public transport that would take us to Ironbridge, so we decided that it wasn't too far to walk from Madeley out to the Blists Hill Victorian town. So we walked there, found that it was £27 to get in, and decided not to. We'd had a nice little trip out anyway. So £27 for 2 people. I make that £54 and a bit of parking as well. It doesn't seem a very economical trip. Probably would have cost us more than our whole 2 days in Telford. If you want to spend some more money, go down to Ironbridge itself. It's got half a dozen museums. Each one will cost you £12 to get in, although if you want to see them all, there is a special ticket that gives you total admission. We walked back into town a different way and headed for Greg's to get some lunch. We are pensioners and we do have a budget to stick to, so some of the things around here are just far too expensive for us. Back in Telford Centre, the girl that was skating around the previous day was still skating around. In fact, she seemed to do it more or less all day. I don't know what she was training for or her reason, but we just kept seeing her. So sitting by Southwater means watching this girl go past every 5 or 10 minutes, but also we got to watch the birds and the fish that are in the water and just enjoy the sunshine. So we went to Madeley, or it could be Madeley. I'm using the pronunciation Madeley because of a TV presenter called Richard Madeley, so I'm taking the pronunciation from him. Otherwise I've never heard of it. It's out towards Ironbridge, and we went on the bus there, a number 2 bus, and when it came to come back again, we couldn't find where the number 2 came back. So we found the number 4, came back on the number 4. But it was a bit strange in Madeley because it has a one-way system, and we couldn't figure it out where all the bus stops were and which direction the buses were going to be going in. We wanted to get back to Telford. Didn't seem that easy a thing to do. Anyway, we're back, and we're amongst all the ponds and trees and things in the town park in Telford. In fact, there's a lake behind Ruth, and I'm going to annoy her now because I'm going to walk right past her. There's a number of these. I would call them lakes, they call them ponds. They have a lot of geese and ducks and things, the Canada geese and some of the other types of geese all on here, but we think the Canada geese have been making the most noise this morning. But I'm going to take the opportunity to look back at last month and our trip to Bulgaria, because we didn't show you some of the accommodation, and some of it was quite interesting. Now, you know I'm a property person, and in Sofia we stayed in a room in an old house that the people were clearly renovating. It was a very interesting house. They advertised the room as an apartment, but it's not really an apartment if there's no cooking facilities. But it was a perfectly adequate family room with an ensuite, and there were bunks in the second part of the room for the rest of your children. We don't want any of those with us, thank you, not at this late stage. So that was interesting. You know, in Svistov we stayed in the Hotel Nove. We've been there before and had a good look round. And then we moved on to Rusa, and a hotel we'd spotted last time we were there, which is called the Cosmos. So we stayed in the Cosmos because it was very near to the railway station and the bus station. Of course, on the trip we did last month, we were mainly using the bus. Didn't matter which, though, because they're both close together. So that was a nice hotel, a bit of a walk into the town centre. But the main thing when you've got the baggage and you're coming off a bus, you need to be getting to the hotel pretty quick. Our final destination was Bucharest. We decided to stay a couple of nights there. I don't think we'll stay again. You've already heard what we thought of Bucharest, but the hotel itself, I'm afraid I don't like doing negative things, but if I'm going to talk about it at all, I'm going to have to talk about it in the negative. I think we'll leave that one actually to another time. I will tell you about it at some point.
You need to stop visiting fields and forests and go somewhere safer. You never know what might drop on your head. And keep an eye on where you're walking. Those sheep might have dropped something in the grass.
As we've been looking back on our trip to Bulgaria, a couple of things that I didn't tell you last month. Liverpool Airport was undergoing a lot of changes. We couldn't get our usual coffee at Starbucks, but on the plus side, we didn't have to take out our liquids and laptops because they'd just completed the changes to the new technology. One final comment about Bulgaria, and I'd wondered if they were into model railways at all there. But yes, in the station at Sofia, a great big room had been devoted to this layout, which they'd planned and built. It was locked, of course, when we were there, but it gave me some hope that there is some railway modelling in Bulgaria. Back in Telford, and we actually walked down towards the International Centre, which we've always known was there, but never had any reason to go. But it was the way the sun was catching the roof. It's a very reflective, almost like tinfoil substance on there, it would seem. And from there we went back through the shopping mall, out the other side, and you're then on a walk to the station, which involved crossing the main dual carriageway via a bridge, and basically you come down by the stairs or the lift, your choice, onto the platform for your train home. So that was Telford, and that was the first of our videos released on a Monday instead of a Tuesday.
Goodbye, farewell, adieu, so long. Here ends our late